He spotted a vulnerable woman beneath the tree, the very woman whose loss had once broken him. The sky glowed softly, the park whispered with calm, and the afternoon felt quietly ordinary. Until the moment that struck Daniel Hayes straight in the soul. He had stepped out only for a short walk, hoping for a brief escape from life's endless commotion. But everything stopped when he noticed someone sitting alone under the wide branches of an old oak. Her head was lowered, her hair spilling like a veil across her trembling shoulders. She looked drained, defeated, clutching her knees as if that was the only thing keeping her together. Daniel's breath faltered. Even from afar he knew that shape, that stillness, that familiar sorrow. It was Emily Carter, the woman he had loved with a depth he never fully admitted. The woman he let slip away, the woman whose absence carved years of quiet suffering into his life. And now, here she was, fragile, isolated, weighted down by something unbearable. If you believe in kindness, forgiveness, and second chances, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support keeps these emotional, inspiring stories alive. Daniel couldn't move at first. 2 years had passed since they ended things. 2 years of stitching himself back together. 2 years of accepting that some wounds never really close. Emily had left with barely an explanation, only a gentle message asking for space, insisting their paths no longer aligned. But deep down, Daniel always sensed there was something she never shared. Something painful. Something she kept sealed away. Watching her now, tucked beneath the shade of the oak tree, memories surged through him like a sudden storm. He had loved her more than he allowed himself to acknowledge. She taught him to believe in quiet mornings, simple joys, soft laughter. But life had pulled them apart, and he forced himself to let her go. Yet seeing her again, so defeated, unlocked every buried emotion. Her clothes were plain, her face etched with exhaustion he'd never seen before. He stepped closer, heart pounding. She didn't notice, her gaze fixed on some far-off invisible place. Her hands trembled. Then he understood. She wasn't just tired, she was breaking. Around her, children laughed, the breeze carried the scent of fresh grass, and the sunlight danced through the leaves. But Emily sat like a shadow trapped inside the brightness. She had always been strong, quietly brave. For her to sit like this, something devastating must have happened. Daniel finally approached. Each step felt heavier than the last. Past and present blurred. Picnics, shared mornings, whispered dreams. Up close he saw the redness circling her eyes, the faint tracks of old tears, the dust on her jeans, her uneven breaths. He wondered what her life had become. Who had hurt her? Why fate had brought her back to this exact moment. Emily slowly lifted her gaze, and the instant she recognized him, something inside her shattered. Confusion, hurt, shock, pain so sharp it felt like it cut the air between them. Daniel saw it all, and he knew, walking away was no longer possible. Life had separated them once, but life had also placed her in front of him again, hurting and alone, and he couldn't ignore that. Not now, not ever. She looked down, flustered, overwhelmed, unsure. Daniel gently sat beside her, but not too close, letting her know she wasn't alone. The breeze shifted. Emily quickly wiped her eyes, trying to hide her struggle. Daniel pretended not to notice, giving her space. He stayed quiet, waiting, letting her gather herself. Finally, Emily inhaled shakily, and he knew the story she carried was one she had buried for far too long. Life had not treated her kindly since she left him. Even before she spoke, he sensed it. Her voice trembled as she revealed everything she had endured. She'd lost her job after the company downsized. Soon after, her mother fell critically ill, leaving her with overwhelming medical bills. Emily fought alone, refusing help, refusing pity, refusing to burden others, not even Daniel. When her mother passed away, Emily was left with grief, debts, and a loneliness so heavy it smothered her. She drifted from job to job, pretending she was okay. But she hadn't been okay in a long time. The night before, she broke. She couldn't pretend anymore, so she came here, the park they once visited, hoping for peace. But instead, everything inside her collapsed beneath that tree. Daniel listened without interrupting. He let her cry. He let her unravel. She had held herself together for too long. Sunlight filtered across her face, exposing every hurt she'd carried alone. Guilt rose in Daniel, not because he'd done anything wrong, but because she suffered without anyone to lean on, without him. As she spoke, the world around them faded. All that remained was her pain and his growing resolve. He couldn't change the past, but he could be here now, fully, wholeheartedly. He spoke softly, telling her she didn't need to carry everything alone, that asking for help wasn't weakness, that she deserved peace after everything she had survived. Words were simple but sincere, the kind that come only from genuine care. Emily cried again, but these were different tears, tears of release, tears of finally being seen. As the afternoon melted into early evening, Daniel stayed by her side. They spoke of their past, their regrets, the wounds that changed them. The distance between them dissolved, replaced with understanding, compassion, and something deeper, something that never truly died. They weren't the same people they once were. Life had reshaped them. But pain often reveals truth, and the truth was that real love doesn't fade. Sometimes people separate only to grow, heal, and find their way back when the time is right. Emily looked at Daniel with a softness he thought he'd never see again. She wasn't asking for anything. She wasn't expecting anything. But Daniel knew, clearly, absolutely. He didn't want to lose her again. He gently suggested they walk, maybe grab something to eat, talk more if she felt up to it. She hesitated, then nodded quietly, gratefully, trusting him the way only someone deeply wounded can trust. They stood together, and the moment felt symbolic, as if she was rising from the weight that had pinned her down. As they walked side by side, not as strangers or ex-lovers but as two souls searching for healing, Emily seemed to breathe without pain for the first time in years. Daniel silently vowed he wouldn't let her fall again, not without someone to catch her, and Emily felt something shift inside her, a gentle spark of hope. Maybe life wasn't ending. Maybe it was offering her a new beginning. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us create more emotional and inspiring stories. Before the story ends, please comment below.